I'm Akila Viswanathan, the director of the Johns Hopkins Department of Radiation Oncology and Molecular Radiation Sciences, and I'm so happy to see a very full room here. I'm delighted to welcome all of you to the dedication of the Moody Wharam Jr. MD Professorship in Pediatric Radiation Oncology and the installation of Dr. Matthew Ladra as the inaugural recipient. I'd like to take a moment to welcome all of our guests, including those joining us virtually, and a special welcome to the Wharam family, so many of whom are gathered here today. I'm pleased to share that this afternoon speaking will be Dr. Judy Keene, trustee of the Johns Hopkins University, Dr. Ted DeWeese, dean of the medical faculty and CEO of Johns Hopkins Medicine, Carolyn Carpenter, president of the National Capital Region for the Johns Hopkins Health System, Dr. Jeff Dome, Senior Vice President, Center of Cancer and Blood Disorders at Children's National Hospital, and Dr. Hassan Zia, President of Sibley Memorial Hospital. I also wish to extend a warm welcome to Matt Ladra and his family, including his parents, Kathy and Michael. Thank you for traveling this distance to celebrate this special occasion for your son. Matt, I cannot think of a member of our team who's more deserving of being the inaugural recipient of the Wharam Professorship. I've watched and worked with you over the years and seen as you've built this pediatric proton program since 2016 when you joined Johns Hopkins. We are all so proud of you and happy to see you receive this incredible recognition of your dedication to the kids and to the families. Today, you're surrounded by many friends and colleagues from across Sibley, Johns Hopkins, and Children's National. This is a true testament to the relationships you've built and the impact you have made. The Wharam Professorship is very unique. While all professorships are made possible through philanthropic support, this one was realized by a generous and anonymous donor family who sought to name this role after a seminal contributor to the field of pediatric radiation oncology. Given his pivotal role in bringing pediatric radiation oncology at Hopkins to a national level, it was unanimously clear that the professorship would be named after Dr. Moody Wharam. At this time, I would also like to thank the advisors. We are in a hospital. It's okay. I think I could talk over them. It's okay. But we'd also like to thank the members of the advisors, Elizabeth Burke, Caitlin Barrett, and Allison Peck, who are representing the family here today. Having served as a professor of radiation oncology, pediatrics, neurosurgery, and radiologic science, as well as director of the Department of Radiation Oncology from 1994 to 2000, Dr. Wharam's remarkable contributions to pediatric radiation oncology fundamentally shaped the modern management of pediatric cancers and the appropriate guided incorporation of radiotherapy for rhabdomyosarcoma, Hodgkin's lymphoma, and acute lymphoblastic leukemia. He was a founding member of the modern discipline of pediatric radiation oncology and helped develop precise implementation of clinical trials to clearly inform the present and future standard of care for pediatric malignancies. To succeed in pediatric radiation oncology takes a unique mindset and a unique skill set, which Dr. Wharam embodied and which I see echoed in Dr. Ladra, making him a truly benefiting recipient to carry this robust legacy forward. We are so grateful to Dr. Wharam's wife, Sheila, and their family for coming together with us today to celebrate this very meaningful professorship as we acknowledge together that Dr. Wharam's name will henceforth be associated with the scientific advances made within our pediatric radiation oncology program. Today marks a wonderful milestone in the history of not only our department and Johns Hopkins, but Sibley as well. To continue with our celebration, I'd like to invite Dr. Zia, president of Sibley Memorial Hospital, to the podium, followed by Carolyn Carpenter, president of the National Capital Region for the Johns Hopkins Health System, to welcome you.
Great. Thank you, Akila. And I would also like to start by welcoming everyone to Sibley Memorial Hospital for this very, very special event today. Today is a wonderful day for our hospital, for radiation oncology, for Johns Hopkins Medicine in the National Capital Region. I'm really delighted to see so many of our supporters, members of our hospital board, members of our foundation board are here today, members of our young professional board are all joining us to celebrate this really important milestone. We're also grateful to have members of the Kimmel Advisory Board with us. I want to thank all of you for your commitment and your support to service. As Dr. Viswanathan mentioned, today is a historic day, and we are thrilled to see this moment manifest thanks to a very generous gift from our donor. This philanthropic investment from a grateful family is critical to advancing the novel work already taking place at Sibley Hospital in pediatric radiation oncology and will impact the lives of our young patients today and well into the future. Dr. Ladra is a pioneer in the field of pediatric radiation oncology as the first physician ever to complete a specific fellowship in pediatric proton therapy. We are fortunate to have him as part of the Sibley and Johns Hopkins team, leading specialized care for kids, in collaboration with our partners from Children's National Hospital. And today, we are joined by several of our partners, including Dr. Jeff Dome and many members of his team that work with Dr. Ladra on a daily basis. Matt, I am so happy to celebrate you as a first recipient of the Moody D. Wharam Jr. Professorship. Sibley is known for our excellence in oncology care, and through this gift, we will continue to meet our community's needs and earn their trust by advancing research, discovery, and clinical care. Thank you, Matt, for all that you do. I would now like to invite Carolyn Carpenter, President of the National Capital Region for Johns Hopkins Medicine, to the podium to share a very special acknowledgement of the meaning of today's work. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and let me share my welcome as well. This is such a special event for all of us, from Hopkins Medicine to Sibley to, of course, to Dr. Ladra. We are excited to have you here today as we have the Wharam family to honor the contributions of their loved one and forever on associate that name with science and discovery and what I like to perhaps oversimplify but call the life-changing care that Hopkins Medicine provides every day. What I have the incredible privilege of doing now is sharing a letter from our anonymous donor family. Their words are so meaningful and certainly much more than any administrator's. Congratulations. Congratulations to Dr. Ladra on his appointment as the Moody D. Wharam Jr. MD Professorship in Pediatric Radiation Oncology. Though his appointment formally recognizes the strength of his research and his clinical achievements, it should also be acknowledged his sense of humor, his empathy, and his consistent excellent taste in Halloween costumes. Together, this family's goal, our goal, is for Washington, D.C. to become one of the foremost destinations for pediatric brain tumor research and treatment. We recognize that this requires all the tools at our disposal and a concerted strategic effort across an entire field, both in huge leaps forward and the daily, relentless incrementalism where real change is made. We know that Dr. Wharam and all who've come before and since embody and carry forward this legacy. These ambitions are only possible through brave, brilliant, and visionary leadership. In Dr. Ladra, we found not only this visionary leadership, but also a dynamic, caring clinician and a collaborative partner. To tackle goals as large and ambitious as the ones he and the Sibley team have set out to achieve with proton radiation therapy requires the determination to bring down barriers and a passion for intense collaboration. Dr. Ladra has the extraordinary ability to see beyond what's possible into what could and should be. As a family who has been through the dark tunnel of the unthinkable. He let us borrow his light until we could find our own. For that, we will be eternally grateful. I'm not sure there's a better ambition in life than to share your light with compassionate caring and hope for a family like that. So Matt, I am happy to celebrate you as the inaugural recipient of the Moody D. Wharam Jr. Professorship. Sibley is known for the excellent cancer care we provide, and through your work, we will continue to meet our community's needs and earn their trust by advancing the research. I have moved to the wrong page. This is true. Today is a very exciting day for the Department of Radiation Oncology and Molecular Radiation Sciences. As an endowed professorship, provides the stability and flexibility needed for our faculty to take advantage of opportunities for innovation, research, and patient care. The importance of an endowed professorship cannot be overstated. It is often critical in recruiting and retaining top talent like Dr. Ladra. And as the first recipient of the Moody D. Wharam Jr. MD Professorship, generations to come will benefit from Matt's exemplary leadership and the leadership of the future holders of this professorship. At this time, I would like to introduce and invite Dr. Ted DeWeese to the podium, our Dean of the Medical Faculty, Chief Executive Officer of Johns Hopkins Medicine. He will introduce and present the Moody D. Wharam Jr. Physician Professorship in Pediatric Radiation Oncology to Dr. Judy Keene, our trustee of the Johns Hopkins University. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Beautiful. Carolyn, thank you very much for that. I'm not sure anybody could follow or should follow those words, honestly. But nonetheless, I have the microphone. So good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much. It is indeed a real delight for me to be here for all kinds of reasons, not the least of which, of course, is to dedicate this, as you've already heard several times, the Moody D. Wharam Jr. MD Professorship in Pediatric Radiation Oncology in the Department of Radiation Oncology, and to celebrate its most worthy inaugural recipient, Dr. Matthew Ladra. Matt, congratulations. This is a very momentous day for you, Matt, for the department, Akila, for Sibley, Hassan and Carolyn, for Johns Hopkins Medicine, indeed, for all of us. It's particularly special for me. Many of you may know I happen to have been the inaugural director of the Department of Radiation Oncology and happen to have had the good fortune of recruiting Matt and being here with a number of colleagues and friends and the Wharam family is particularly special to me. It's also very special being here at Sibley for this because, of course, this is the home of the world-class proton therapy center at Johns Hopkins that a number of my colleagues and I had a long sojourn to try to get done. Thank you, Jeff, for you and I were just lamenting the days and hours and evenings downtown working on this, and it was really well worthwhile for what Sibley has been able to do and has just reflected in the beautiful letter and words, Matt, to you from the family that you helped so much. So it's special in many ways. So for all those reasons, Matt, it's particularly special to me to be able to bestow this upon you. As you've already heard from Matt, and I'll be brief about those things. I think, Matt, you do reflect what it is one would hope to see in an endowed professorship, particularly in this field. You're very smart, of course, but you bring to the care of patients your clinical acumen, the dedication to advancing research and discovery to make sure the next patient is informed by that and gets better, but mostly you have, and which is why I remember the days when I was recruiting you, you bring to it the humanity that a real physician, not a doctor, but a real physician brings to it, that you don't just treat the patient, but you're there to, and not just to cure them, but to heal them. And to be sure, particularly for families with children with cancer, to keep those families stitched together because it is a stressful time. And so for that, Matt, you have all the attributes that one would want in a Johns Hopkins endowed professor, bringing those skills to bear. So thank you for all you do for each individual child, for the collective children that you will never see and never know, but the work that you do and that this professorship will support will continue now and well beyond any of us will ever be in this room. This professorship will still be there, but you will have been the inaugural holder of it. I hope you'll just allow me a little bit longer to hold the microphone for a moment, because this, as I noted, is a particularly special day for me because of the name for whom this professorship, the person for whom this professorship was named, Dr. Wharam. And Moody Wharam was the person who recruited me as a resident to the Johns Hopkins Hospital, coming from Colorado, and forever changed my life. For him taking a chance on this otherwise not normal person that he found in this pool of applicants to select me. And Moody, as you already heard, was really truly a pioneer in the field, was already reflected about what he was able to do. But I'll just reinforce that the things that Matt does, that Jeff does every day for certain kinds of kids with, say, Hodgkin's disease or rhabdomyosarcoma, are founded on the work that Moody did and his colleagues, and that hasn't changed. And those are really very important. That's what professors at Johns Hopkins do, and their colleagues across the city will be able to forever continue to change lives, Matt. And that's what Moody was able to do. He, I think, reflected the best of a Johns Hopkins professor. He was an elegant man. He was very smart, very dedicated, very hardworking, very demanding when it had to be with the patients. I was on the end of that demanding part several times when it was on behalf of children. But he too was more about the healing as much as he was the curing, the healing part of that. And he never let me forget about, for many families, cancer isn't necessarily the most important thing right now. It's trying to keep this family stitched together during these very, very difficult times. So I'm enormously grateful, personally, professionally, for the anonymous donor and what they were able to do to provide the resources to support this gift, because it reflects, again, a person that Matt is able to very accurately emulate, and that will continue to support the kind of work that a professor does, to be able to have some creativity and stability to pursue that important work, to attract the best students and residents and fellows to that work, to continue to perpetuate in that sort of virtuous cycle of goodness that comes in the kind of work, Matt, that you pursue. So congratulations again, Matt. This is a really, really very special day. I'm so grateful and honored to be able to be here with you to do that. So, as you've heard, because endowments in the university are held and administered by the university, we have to formally present them to the university. So with that at play, I would like to invite my colleague and friend, Dr. Judy Keene, who's a trustee of the university, to join me. So Dr. Keene, as the Dean of the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine and CEO of Johns Hopkins Medicine, I'd like to formally present to you, as trustee of the university, the Moody D. Wharam Jr. MD Professorship in Pediatric Radiation Oncology. Congratulations. I don't get better looking the more you take.
So thank you very much. On behalf of the Johns Hopkins University, it gives me great pleasure to accept the Moody D. Wharam Jr. MD Professorship in Pediatric Radiation Oncology. It is an honor to be here with Dr. DeWeese, Dr. Viswanathan, Carolyn Carpenter, and Dr. Zia. Dr. Ladra, President Ron Daniels wanted me to extend his congratulations on this special occasion to you, and to express our gratitude to the anonymous donor who made this all possible. What an honor to be able to recognize Dr. Wharam in this professorship. Having embodied the Johns Hopkins tripartite mission of research, teaching, and patient care, Dr. Wharam was a physician whom today's clinicians can only aspire to emulate. He performed essential clinical trials that paved the way for modern-day management of children burdened with cancer and helped lead the way for significant clinical findings, which provided the knowledge base necessary to treat complex pediatric cancers. He was the founding member of the Pediatric Radiation Oncology discipline and the Pediatric Oncology cooperative groups, and many thousands of children were helped and indeed saved because of his pioneering work. Dr. Ladra, your work across the National Capital Region has become all more important as we expand our institution's footprint to help patients and their families, especially those touched with pediatric cancer. You are the most deserving of this named professorship. Please accept our heartiest congratulations on this great achievement. We look forward to celebrating the extraordinary results of your work for years to come. And on behalf of the entire university, we thank you and express our pride to be able to dedicate this professorships in your names. Thank you for the unwavering support to the Johns Hopkins community.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Jeff Dome, Senior Vice President of the Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Children's National Hospital. Dr. Zia, Keen, and Viswanathan have touched upon some of the remarkable accomplishments of Dr. Wharam. Throughout his career, Dr. Wharam carried himself with the highest level of grace, class, and humility. And it is without reservation that Dr. DeWeese suggested Dr. Wharam as the namesake for the Professorship in Pediatric Radiation Oncology, to honor his legacy in perpetuity and thus immortalize the highest standard of excellence in the field. I had the good fortune to be one of Dr. Wharam's mentees and colleagues when I was a pediatric oncology fellow at Johns Hopkins in the late 1990s. Although Dr. Wharam was already a giant in the field, he was humble and down to earth. For instance, I remember he would never miss one of our weekly patient care conferences, and he would always bring his lunch in a plain brown paper bag. And he would open the bag, and he always had the same sandwich. And as he would eat his sandwich, he would offer sage and very practical advice on the clinical management of complex patients. And he taught me and countless other trainees the immense value of multidisciplinary care in treating childhood cancer. Truth be told, I was almost convinced to become a radiation oncologist after my month-long rotation with Dr. Wharam. And now, coming full circle, about 25 years later, although I never became a radiation oncologist, I'm pleased and honored to formally introduce Dr. Matt Ladra as the inaugural recipient of the Moody D. Wharam Jr. Professorship. Matt was recruited as the first pediatric radiation oncologist for a program that had its origin dating back to about 2011, when leaders at Sibley Hospital, Johns Hopkins, and Children's National had the idea to create the premier pediatric radiation oncology program, offering the latest technology, including proton beam therapy. I participated in the selection of Dr. Ladra. I went on some nice recruiting dinners with Dr. DeWeese, and Matt emerged as the clear top candidate. He completed a fellowship in pediatric radiation proton therapy at Massachusetts General Hospital, which is the pioneer institution in proton therapy. And he displayed an expertise and a passion for both pediatric radiation therapy and proton therapy. And that combination is a very rare commodity. So this was a match meant to be, and Matt arrived on the DMV scene around 2015, and it's been a joy to watch the program flourish since then. Oncologists in the area and beyond are well assured that our patients are getting the best possible care through Matt's thoughtful and collaborative approach, continuing in the tradition of Dr. Wharam. And not only has Matt become a local treasure, but he's also gained national and international renown for his expertise in proton therapy in general, pediatric sarcomas, brain tumors, and navigating the neurocognitive impacts of radiation in children with cancer. You can find the details of Matt's career in your program, but what Matt's resume does not capture is the empathy and compassion he exudes for his patients and families. He leaves no stone unturned as he provides care, and he provides the care in a reassuring manner with a touch of humor, as you've heard. Patients who go to Sibley Hospital tell me that they had a good experience getting radiation therapy, which seems like a non sequitur, but it's true. Matt's commitments to patients, to training others in the specialty, and to being a steadfast colleague to all of us at Sibley, Johns Hopkins, Children's National, and beyond, make him the consummate inaugural Moody D. Wharam Jr. Professor. Well, now you've heard from me and other colleagues about Matt's work, but there's no one who could sing his praises as well as his patients. And now I'm pleased to turn over the stage to them.
Congratulations, Matt, on this wonderful achievement. Amazing job at building a world-class pediatric radiation oncology service here at the Johns Hopkins Proton Therapy Center and Sibley Radiation Oncology. Your professionalism, your caring support, the way you take care of kids and their families is really exemplary. We have amazing trainees who get to learn and work with you. Your research is world-class. And all that you do on a daily basis to get your patients through treatment. We are really just amazed at what you're able to achieve on a daily basis. Congrats again on this endowed professorship, and I'm hoping that you'll continue to do great work and just can't wait to see what else you'll do.
Hi, my name is Cece Child, and our son Luke was diagnosed with cancer about 4 years ago when he was 19. Dr. Ladra, our family is so very thankful for you. It's impossible to convey in just a few words how much we appreciate you and respect you and like you. We know that you, along with Dr. Pertilis and Dr. Groves, literally saved Luke's life. And you did so with the expertise that we desperately needed, but also with so much caring and kindness and compassion, and that just meant the world to us. I'll never forget the first time we met you in person. We went to Sibley confident because Dr. Pertilis had told us that you were the best and that we would love you. But we also went pretty scared because taking your child for radiation is a pretty horrifying thing. But by about halfway through that appointment, I texted my husband and I told him that the radiation oncology team seemed amazing, that you guys were going to take good care of us, and that you were going to be one of our favorite doctors. That quickly proved true. I have to say that one of the things that really stood out to me from that first appointment was seeing a little picture of your face on the men's restroom sign and hidden throughout the department. And just knowing that a doctor was okay with that you were willing to laugh at yourself and be that much fun, just showed me what a cool human you were. You're amazing, and our family is so thankful to have had you as Luke's doctor and to now be able to call you a friend. There's not much in the world of pediatric oncology that's guaranteed, but it's amazing to know with confidence that your son's doctors are providing the very best possible care and that they also truly care about you. So again, thank you so much for all that you've done for our family and for all that you continue to do for kids and families from all around the world.
Dr. Matt, Stephen Quander here, of course, Christopher Quander's father.
I don't really know how much to say thank you or how to say thank you, but I'll just start with saying thank you. You made Christopher's journey and transition a smooth one. You always led with care and honesty throughout that process, and we really appreciate it. Flapjack Fridays was amazing, and you allowing us to be able to have that space to help our son feel comfortable will forever be indebted in our heart. From the bottom of our hearts, the Quanders appreciate you as well as Christopher's Village. Thank you.
Matt, I had several other things I was going to add. After that, I will not, actually. because I think the last thing I was going to say befits this last part. An endowed professorship is the highest honor that Johns Hopkins can bestow upon one of its faculty members. And I think everything you saw in the video would articulate better than I of why that is the case. So Matt, if you'll please join me. So Dr. Ladra, on behalf of the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine, I'm pleased to present you this medallion as a symbol of this honor and in celebration of your installation as the inaugural recipient of the Moody D. Wharam Jr. MD Professorship in Pediatric Radiation Oncology. Matt, congratulations.
Man, can't show me that video and then have me do this. Thank you everybody for coming today. This is amazing turnout. It's amazing to see all you here. Thank you to Dr. Deweese, Dr. Swanathan, Caroline, Dr. Dome, everyone for those amazing introductions, and to the people I know who put that video together. Thank you. That was very sweet. And thank you to my colleagues and friends who came here today. Again, this turnout is amazing, and I'm so happy to be able to share that with you. This is quite an honor, and I feel very blessed to be here in front of you today. So when I started here 8 years ago, as Dr. Dome said, there were no pediatric services aside from neonatology and OBGYN here at Sibley, and there was definitely no pediatric oncology. And with the vision of Dr. Deweese, Dr. Dome, Stephanie Terazakis, who's not here but should be recognized, through their leadership and vision, and through the help of the amazing administration with Dr. Zia, Caroline Shaffa, Jen Abley, we were able to put together something I think that I don't know if it's ever been done before, which is taking two highly esteemed oncology programs, completely unaffiliated, and having them work together to create a multidisciplinary pediatric radiation oncology program at the highest level to meet an unmet need in the community. That first year, once we got it together, we treated about over 20 patients. This year, we're on pace to treat over 200 patients and become one of the largest pediatric radiation oncology programs in the country. I'm incredibly proud of what we've achieved. I'm even more proud of the quality of care that we've been able to deliver through this multidisciplinary collaboration with all our team. And I'm very thankful to be given the opportunity to lead this project. As I said, I feel incredibly blessed to be here. It's absolutely a privilege to be able to be entrusted with the care of pediatric oncology patients and have the faith of their families. It's a privilege to be able to work here with Children's National and Johns Hopkins and all the doctors in our multidisciplinary team who help us deliver the highest quality of oncology care. And it's a privilege to work with the incredible team of nurses, therapists, dosimetrists, physicists who are here every day with the kids, holding their hands, putting everything into their work to make sure that our littlest patients receive everything they need to get better. So thank you to them. So like I said, I'm so thankful just to be here and to be able to do this. And so I'm even more honored to be the inaugural recipient of the Moody D. Wharam Junior Professorship in Pediatric Radiation Oncology. In academic medicine, professorship stands apart from the other ways that philanthropy drives our work forward, in that it's a gift that recognizes both achievement, but it ensures that we can continue forward our promise towards progress and ultimately achieve a healthier and brighter future for our patients. And for me, that progress is to continue our research into reducing cognitive impact of radiation in young patients each year with the help of the wonderful philanthropy support that we get from grants, and most importantly from the support of my amazing colleague, Dr. Acharya, who is my colleague, as well as my colleagues from Children's National. We've been increasing and expanding our research efforts with clinical trials, with rehabilitation protocols, with laboratory projects, with the ultimate goal of making this collaboration between Johns Hopkins and Children's National, the Pediatric Radiation Oncology Program, the world leader in neurorehabilitation and prevention of radiation-induced brain injury. And so I'm forever indebted to our anonymous donors for embracing and supporting my vision, and for the tremendous generosity that they've made, that made this professorship possible. And so while I know they prefer to remain anonymous, I hope that they understand what a profound and important impact they've already made on our project, and I will do everything I can to continue this progress on their behalf. And I am equally grateful that this professorship will carry on Dr. Wharam's name, so that with each step forward that we make, we can honor his legacy and what he has done for all of our patients. I want to thank my parents, Michael and Kathy Ladra. You couldn't ask for a more caring and supportive set of parents, and I thank them for all the sacrifices that they made for me to be able to do what I love. I thank you to my amazing PEDS team for their extraordinary care that they provide to our patients and families, and for the extraordinary lengths that they go to make our patients feel cared, loved, and supported. The philanthropic gifts that we've received are really a reflection of the care that they provide and the way that they've made our patients feel. I'd like to thank my amazing colleagues, Dr. Dome, Dr. Rude, Dr. Kilburn, Dr. Meany, Dr. Terzakis, Dr. Santa, all the wonderful people that I work with. I couldn't be luckier to work with doctors who are both wonderful people and wonderful physicians who care so much and share that passion. And a special thanks to our development team, to Kristen and Liz and Allison, who put together this incredible event and put together this incredible professorship, and they did an extensive amount of work and should also receive some applause. So thank you very much. This is truly an honor, and I hope I do it justice. Thank you.
Wow, that was great. Thank you, Matt. Congratulations again. On behalf of the Department of Radiation Oncology and Molecular Radiation Sciences, Sibley Memorial Hospital, and Johns Hopkins Medicine, thank you all for being a part of today's dedication ceremony. This is truly a wonderful occasion. Before we conclude our formal program, I do want to take just a minute to present Dr. Ladra with a special gift on behalf of our department and Johns Hopkins Medicine. So in academic medicine, a professorship is often referred to as an endowed chair. And in the spirit of that convention, we actually do have a tradition of giving a chair. And so today, this beautiful chair, which can go into either the home or the office or wherever it's going to serve as a reminder of what you've accomplished and certainly what is yet to come, whether you sit in the chair to obtain inspiration or just enjoy seeing it there. But congratulations, Matt, for all you've done, for being so deserving of this remarkable honor. So. I hope that all of you will join us now for a reception, that we will take the opportunity to share congratulations with Dr. Ladra, Mrs. Wharam, and their families, and also to just interact and hopefully have a wonderful, wonderful time. There will be a photographer walking around to take your pictures, so please come forward, and we'll take a group photograph as well for those that are speaking and that have been here. So thank you all for coming, and for those that are joining virtually, we really appreciate your also being part of this event, and have a good evening, everyone. Thank you.